Pravartanat Sangatyago Satoritter Chadber Bhaktir Prasidhyati. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace Yesu Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. There are 6 principles favorable to execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotees, and following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. Satavritte. These are the 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. We'll continue from the place where we left last night. These activities must be executed with patience. Page number 45. One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, this Krishna consciousness movement was started single-handedly in the beginning. There was no response. Prabhupada is talking about his realization. But because we continued to execute our devotional activity with patience, people gradually began to understand the importance of this movement. And now they are eagerly participating. One should not be impatient in discharging devotional service, but should take instructions from the spiritual master and execute them with patience, depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna. The successful execution of Krishna conscious activities require both patience and confidence. A newly married girl naturally expects offspring from her husband, but she cannot expect to have them immediately after marriage. Of course, as soon as she is married, she can attempt to get a child but she must surrender to her husband. Hare Krishna. Confident that her child will develop and be born in due time. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. Devotee thinks, Avasya Rakshive Krishna. This is one of the limbs of surrender. Anukulyana Sankalpa Pratikulya Varjana Avasya Rakshive Krishna. That Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. This is called confidence. As already explained, one should not be idle but should be very enthusiastic about the execution of regulative principles, Tattat Karma Pravartanat. Neglect of regulative principles will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna consciousness movement, there are 4 basic regulative principles: forbidding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following these principles. If he becomes slack in following any of them, his progress will certainly be checked. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends Tattat Karma Pravartanat. One must strictly follow the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti. In addition to these four prohibitions, Yama, there are positive regulative principles, Niyama, such as daily chanting of 16 rounds on Japa Mala beads. These regulative activities must be faithfully performed with enthusiasm. This is called as Tattat Karma Pravartanat, or varied engagement in devotional service. We'll read one more para and discuss. Furthermore, in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. This includes karmis, jnanis, yogis, and other non-devotees. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada is writing jnanis, yogis under the belt of non-devotees. That's true. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked by one of his household devotees about the general principles of Vaishnavism, as well as the general routine activities of a Vaishnava, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Asat Sangha Tyaga, I Vaishnava Acharya. Characteristically, Vaishnava is one who gives up the association of worldly people or non-devotees. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has therefore recommended Tadera Charanaseni Bhaktasanivas. One has to live in the company of pure devotees and execute the regulative principles laid down by the previous acharyas, the six Goswamis, namely Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. If one lives in the association of devotees, there is little chance of associating with non-devotees. The ISKCON is opening many centers just to invite people to live in the company of devotee and practice regulative principles of spiritual life. ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदम्। पञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवसरि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पुंगं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं देवम्। हरे कृष्ण। Actually, we are discussing from Nectar of Instruction since few months. Nectar of Instruction actually gives us a clarity what is what. It shows us, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, clearly shows us where our shelter should be, whom should we associate with, what should we aspire for. These are all the intricacies to enhance and move towards doing Krishna consciousness very purely. Actually, we need to ask this question, what really bhakti is? What really bhakti is? I'll come to the question which Radha Mataji asked yesterday. What really bhakti is? Is bhakti means reading some slokas? We need to ask this question. What is bhakti? Is it, do I need to buy a few slokas? Or I need to do some activities like doing book distribution or doing any other service or trying to build a temple? What is devotion? Or trying to uh, cultivate jnana, where what is written in the scriptures? Is that bhakti? Or try to do some dhyana, always 24 hours chanting Hare Krishna? Is that bhakti? What is bhakti actually? As an example, which my spiritual master always gives. For example, we are traveling in a train. We see so many stations coming in between, different sets of people getting down and then boarding the train. And then sometimes we see good sceneries. Sometimes we see filthy places. If a person understands that I'm not connected to this, if a person who's actually situated in the train understands that I'm not connected to this because if my station comes, I have to get down. Even though if I might have been traveling for a day or a day and a half, but still I have to get down when my station comes. If a person understands that, then during the place of filthy or during the place of beautiful sceneries, his consciousness is not changed because he understands that he has to get down. Within a couple of hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, he has to get down. So when he is in that train, even though he is engaged or he's absorbed, but he's not attached to it. Likewise, dear devotees, or when you're in a Airbnb, you went for an outing for a couple of days, you booked an Airbnb, you reserved for a couple of days, and you pay $250 for that. Even though you're staying in that, you understand that that is not my property. That is, it doesn't belong to me. I'm there, but it doesn't belong to me. And even though if I'm doing any activities, there's a clarity that I have to leave this place after a couple of days. So likewise, dear devotees, in devotion, we see through the life of the Acharyas, we see through the life of Srila Prabhupada. Has so many difficulties actually. But he was never bogged down to all those difficulties in his life. We see the life of Pandavas, there's so many difficulties, but they never bogged down, they never complained. They simply accepted those situations. When difficulties come, they actually take more shelter, deeper shelter. Because through the deeper shelter only, one will actually make progress. Because what is he doing? He understands the nature of this world. That is why knowing the truth is very, very important. Not just knowing the truth when we apply the truth in our life. It makes more sense. That is the whole point why Srila Prabhupada says, follow four regulative principles, chant Hare Krishna diligently. Why is he telling in the Prabhupada? Because those are yama and niyama. Yama means what not to be done, niyama means what to be done. Niyama means chant 16 rounds. Yama means do not go or stray. Be completely fixed up in following four regulative principles. When we when we understand that, when we really want to do purely following the four regulative principles, then we understand it's not easy. It's difficult. Because the problem, what is happening is, in our consciousness, the problem what is happening is, we are absorbed in that, just like people, they're so absorbed in the train, or so absorbed in a particular situation, we are actually absorbed so much in our life. Our absorption in our life is so deep. We make so many plans, actually. If I ask anyone, what's your plans for the next 10, 15 years? Oh, they immediately tell this is what I am to, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to do this. This is where I want to send my children. This is what, oh, everything, perfect plan is there. Perfect plan for everything. And when something is not happening in that plan, that is where the problem comes. Which will bound to happen actually. Which is bound to happen. Every plan which we make will not be sanctioned. For example, a couple of days back we were discussing about this. Bhagavatam says Krishna had a desire. He just thought, he didn't even tell outside, he didn't even say, let there be a creation. That means this creation happened. Let there be a causal ocean, let there be a Mahat Tattva, let there be this, that, let there be gross elements, subtle elements, everything, let there be Brahmaji, everything got manifested. Just he thought, just that's through the thought only everything is coming. He's not going in physically doing some activity. No, just through thought it is coming. But that is Purna. The Supreme Lord, who's all attractive, is Purna Purushottam. Now that person he can do. Just through his thought, he can manifest everything. But when we think or plan so many things in this world, everything will not happen. If certain things are happening in our life, understand that is only through our karmic reaction. It is through our karma it's supposed to happen. Whatever good supposed to happen, it is through our pious activities which we have done in the previous life. Think more than that. If that is not happening, means that we need to understand that I don't deserve it. Rather, we shouldn't be bogged down about it. Because this is just a journey in our life. And even husband and wife only in this life, not in the next life. Even the children only in this life, not in the next. This is just like a train journey. We are kept in a situation. Sometimes children, before father leaves the body, children would leave the body. Son or a daughter, they would leave the body. Now that is a situation we have to be kept in. And there are more responsibilities. No, that is what we've been kept in, we've been given. So the situation and scenario is showing us very clearly that we've been kept in various situations in various scenarios of our life. That is a whole point. Actually, if one really wants to aspire for pure devotion also, things will not manifest because the situations and circumstances in the family are different. The desire, whatever the little desire is there, that is actually crushed. Because that desire itself is actually a door to spiritual world. But that desire has been crushed through the association of the people around us. For example, you're supposed to get down. Somebody holded you. What do you have to do? You have to hold to get down at the next station. So what am I trying to say is, the sadhaka who has clarity in his life, who knows what to be done, then what he does, he is not bogged down with all those differentiations. For example, he's walking in a street. He goes left, and then he sees that a lot of people are discussing some mundane stuff. He understands that is not my thing. He will just move forward. Now he goes to right. Some other people are discussing something else. He understands that is not my thing. He just moves forward. And then he goes to different places, he meets different people. He's understanding, he's explaining, he's telling, but he knows one thing. Whatever his goal, his aspiration is, he has to do that. He's just moving forward. Just like Srila Prabhupada in New York City, after the matchless gift was been established, and devotees were very happy that finally we have a center. That is the first center for ISKCON. And Srila Prabhupada said, I have to move. And the devotees were shocked. Prabhupada, we thought that you'll be here. They all thought that Prabhupada was attached to them. Prabhupada was attached to them, but his attachment is something else. Then he said, I have to move. Devotees try to stop Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, no, I have to move. I have to move to my next place. This message has to be given. So he moved. So it is again clearly showing that what we need to aspire, what we need to do, we should have a clarity. Prabhupada is mentioning Jnana, Dhyana, Yoga, Yogis. That is not devotion. Bhakti means something else. Bhakti means no matter what happens in my life, no matter in which situation I've been kept in, I simply want to please them. That is my only thing. Srila Prabhupada, if you see, entire life, that is what he did. He wanted to please the spiritual master. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada. And nothing else actually in his life. Everything, his family problems, his business problems, everything. He went through so many things, but he moved. He did not stop anywhere. He just moved. Prabhupada was only thinking, will my spiritual master be pleased with this or not? That was his only thought process. That's why we adore and respect him so much for his wonderful qualities. Because it is their mercy only, when we begin glorifying them, we become pure at the heart level. Then we understand that, my dear Lord, if you are giving me this difficult situation, please see through that this is being taken care, but always give the association of your pure devotees. No matter, you can keep me in any situation, whatever you want, but please never leave the association. This we need to pray. Let's say there is really a difficult situation. We need to pray to the Lord and beg forgiveness, because, my dear Lord, it is only through my sinful activities, sinful tendencies I have been received this. This is no other thing. This is actually a gateway to devotion. Because who doesn't have problems in this world? Do we have anyone who doesn't have problems? No, everyone has problems. But the problem is, we are adjusting that problem. I'll tell an example. Now it is very hard, right? It's summer. What do? We put on AC. Actually, the heat is a problem. If it is more, it's a problem. But what are we trying to do is, we are trying to adjust the settings in the home so that we remain satisfied. We remain in a comfort zone so that the heat is not impacting us. I'm not against that we shouldn't use AC, but there's a great lesson through that. In the material world, the reason we are here is, we are in separation of the Lord. We want to be in separation of the Lord. We don't want to remember the Lord. That's how we came here. Now, after coming here, we are adjusting our situations and circumstances in such a way that we are happy here. It's an adjustment. It's a mental adjustment. So through this mental adjustment, we are getting some solace, some satisfaction to the heart, some satisfaction, some happiness. But if we closely observe, that mental adjustment is not only giving little happiness, but it is actually keeping us away from the Lord. That mental adjustment. No, let me do this, let me do that. Let me go here, let me go there. These are the mental adjustments. But through these adjustments, we are going away from the difficulties through doing some activity. But again, on the other side, we are actually going far, far away from our acharyas and their words. To the question, when the difficulties come, how can we practice Krishna consciousness? If we are not practicing Krishna consciousness sincerely, when things are good, then when difficulties comes, we will not be able to practice Krishna consciousness. Because the strong roots which we have, the attachments, those are the strong roots. Now, what keeps a person in this world? Attachments. What attachment? Attachments through this world. Material attachments. So I'm not talking about spiritual attachments, like attaching to Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the material attachment. If that attachment is there, then devotee, when he gets difficulties, he will be jubilant. Because he knows that this is an opportunity to take more shelter. And he understands that Lord is actually personally checking on me, that what I should do, how I should take shelter of a pure devotee and then move forward. He's actually checking that. So obviously the sadhaka will become, it's a great opportunity for him to take more and more shelter. But why through the difficulties a sadhaka cannot take the shelter more, means due to the material attachments, due to insecurities. Why a person cannot come to the platform of surrender? Through insecurities. What are those insecurities? Can be anything in this world. Anything which we are connected to it. Dhyayato Vishya Pumsa Sangasya Sudha. Unlimited Vishya. Vishya Sakti. For example, if a person is telling something about this mundane world, and then if you are asakti, if you are cultivating asakti towards it, that if you are eager towards it, then understand that that is connected to us. That is very dear to us. Nothing in this world can give us, can give happiness. That Vishaya Shakti is only little tangible, little happiness. It will not take anywhere. The same heroine, when we are 16 or 15, now that heroine is in old age. The same heroine which gave some little happiness to the heart while watching her at the age of 15 or 16, now if you see the same lady after 15, 20, 30 years, the asakti is not there. Why? Because the plane itself is wrong. The way we are seeing itself is wrong. Why dualities come? Because one time that gives happiness, the other time it gives distress. Because we are actually dealing with this world only. At every moment when we deal with this world, then we get attachment to it. But what that attachment is doing is, it is not just cultivating another thing into our life. It is not just bringing another thing into our life, but actually it is removing Krishna from our life. Two things will happen simultaneously. Connecting to this material world and then going away from Krishna. So that Rakshasiti iti Vishwasi will not come. What is that Rakshasiti iti Vishwasi? Krishna, you are my maintainer and protector. That will not come. Because the attachment is somewhere else. Actually, during the difficulties, if you see, Pandavas were glorified more during the difficulties. Gopis were glorified when they are away from Krishna. Mother Yashoda's devotion was intensified when Krishna was not there. Kunti Maharani is praying for those calamities. Just see her consciousness. No, we don't have to pray for the calamities. At least when the calamities comes, how we are taking is what matters. For example, children are not listening. They're not doing. They are developing independent mentality. We know, we can see, we can understand. That's a problem actually. It's a calamity. It's a problem. They're not taking up the process. It's a problem actually. Now we need to see through these calamities or the problems, where is our shelter? Yes, difficulties do come to every person. But where is the absorption? Now to the point, it's very practical. If we are doing if you are unable to practice Krishna consciousness to the core of the heart, when everything is good, because even when everything is good, we cannot practice. Why? Because we are in the comfort zone. Okay, let me chant later. Let me do this later. Let me hear this later. Let me not. Let me not contemplate. Let me not contemplate what bhakti is. That's okay. I can do this tomorrow. Because why? The comfort zone is there now. When we are kept in a comfort zone, will anyone think about, oh Krishna, where are you? Where are you? No, that will never come. Because we are already in the comfort zone. When we are in comfort zone, post devotional service is postponed. Why devotees do not follow those regulations fully is only one reason, dear devotees, is to not feeling that relationship with the Lord and the Acharyas. The core reason actually. For example, if one has a good relationship with one's father, if the father says, you do this, then the son or the daughter immediately will do it. The son and the daughter is not thinking, oh, what's going to happen? He's not speculating. Will this be okay? Will this not cause any problem to me? He's not speculating. He's just doing. Now this thing, when come to Krishna, even when Krishna comes and calls us, we will say, Krishna, please give me some time. I have something to do here. Please give me. For example, even just right at this moment, if Krishna comes and then tells us, will you come to me? I'll take you to the spiritual world. Or if a pure devotee comes and tells, will you come to me? I'll take you to the spiritual world. Say, hold on, Prabhu. Hold on. There's so many things going on. Okay, this devotion can be done tomorrow, day after tomorrow. There's a lot of time for that, but I have so many other things to do now. I have so many other things to do. This is attachments. Dear devotees, the Hridaya Granthi, which is there, is a very strong knot. It is coming from millions of lifetimes. You understand, dear devotees? Millions of lifetimes. A Hridaya Granthi, the connectivity to this world. Because why? The moment we left Krishna, that is our downfall actually. The moment we left the Lord. And the association of all those pure devotees in the spiritual world. Dear devotees, when we were there, we were also pure there. But we are contaminated. We came into this material world and started our contamination. And even the downfall was not drastic downfall, slowly. From there we came to Brahma Jyoti. From Brahma Jyoti we came to Satyaloka and Swargaloka, various planets, and then finally descended to Bhuloka. And then circumambulating in this Bhuloka so many lifetimes. So many lifetimes. Please understand this. The sadhaka is always aspiring for pure state. Bhakti is that. Bhakti means only for pure state. I see a lot of people will come to the movement and then they say, I will chant Hare Krishna, will I be married? I'll chant Hare Krishna, will I get job? I'll chant Hare Krishna, will I get kids? For that they are coming. That means bhakti is mixed with karma kanda. That means it's not pure. There's some mixture. That mixture will not develop a relationship with the Lord. That mixture will not develop relationship with our acharyas. And without relationship, one cannot make progress. Actually, if there is no relationship, I cannot even tell certain things because there's no relation. That deep relationship has to be established. When a deep relationship is established, then we can discuss so many things. Because if the relationship is not good on that platform, then we can speak only few things. We cannot go deeper. Cannot go. Because we don't know how the other person will react for that. But that's the truth. I'll give another example. Hiranyakashipu, Duryodhana, Hiranyaksha, all these personalities, they might be done, they are doing bad activities. And we quote, oh, he has done this, he has done this, he has done that, he has done this, she has done that, she has done this. And we can also speak about it. But that doesn't mean that we are out of it. Very important. These anarthas are there in our. They have to be culminated. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. Niyama, Niyama, Yama, and Niyama. When we follow that Yama and Niyama sincerely, then one can curb out of this material existence and come to the platform of goodness. Please understand this, because the more we aspire for this consciousness, the more we can know about what our acharyas are giving us. Please understand this, because to find a pure devotee is not easy. It's difficult. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma vanavritam. One who is actually walking his life through that is no other desire, only to please the Lord, only to please the Acharya. It's very rare. We cannot put everyone in one bucket. Very rare. Now, who is free from materialistic attachments? And then practicing Krishna consciousness sincerely. Very, very rare. Very few. Very important. That is the reason Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mabe Vapsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Everything is manifesting through me. Manishyanam Sahasreshu Kashyadete Siddhare. That this process is rare. Taking up to this process is rare. Out of millions of people, one become a devotee, and then to thousands of them, one become pure. One become pure soul. And that pure soul, not just he goes to the spiritual world, but he inspires so many others. And Srila Prabhupada is that kind of a person. And his pure followers, they are that kind of persons. And the more we aspire for that consciousness, for that upliftment, that is called as bhakti. This is bhakti. Bhakti means whatever you say, I will do. That is bhakti. You should have a superior in one's life. If there is no superior, then whom are we reporting to? Whom are we reporting to? And the services also should be done according to them. This kind of relationship one should develop. Very, very important. I remember Jiva Goswami, such an exalted person, still he was taking the association of Rupa Goswami. Who is he? He's like sannyasi. Gave up everything. That person also has a superior. No, sometimes I do ask devotees, oh, you are doing this particular sort of service. Who told you to do this? Do you have a Do you have an authority? Do you have an authority? Then they say, oh, I am just doing it. Then please understand you are in false ego. No, I'm just doing, I want to do this. Or I want to hear, I want to do, I want to read, I want to do book distribution. If this I is what? Is a killer. Is a killer of what? Killer of this consciousness. So that means even after coming to Krishna consciousness, still without any authorization, if you are doing certain things, trust me, we are bounded in these three modes of material nature. For sure, you will not get realizations. Because what is happening? There's no authority, na. Krishna, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he met Ishwarapuri, and then his spiritual master told him, "You give up, you give up all this jnana. Just throw them out. Just forget your Vyakarana. Just chant Hare Krishna." And he did. No, he also has an authority. Who is he? Krishna. Krishna has an authority. Not just talking about Jiva Goswami. Krishna also has an authority. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came as a devotee, who is showing us how a devotee should be. Devotee means only pure devotion. If we are not doing that, we cannot proclaim that we are a devotee. And we should never proclaim. I never proclaim that I am a devotee. That is a gift which my spiritual master gave. I never say I am a devotee. No. No. Even if I speak 24 hours, I cannot proclaim that I am a devotee. Even if we are observed 24 hours, no, they cannot. Because it is being given to us. You cannot say that. I always think about this. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, before meeting my spiritual master, who am I? Who am I? A soul wandering in this world, looking for sense gratification. Now, if you are free from that means, now who gave it? Oh, before I was in sense gratification. Now, who gave it? It is a person who gave it. Now, if a person who gave it, it becomes our responsibility to serve that person. This is devotion, man. They are devotees. A little reciprocation towards them, towards our acharyas. We should actually go to Srila Prabhupada and then beg. Srila Prabhupada, if you are not there, if my spiritual master is not there, how Krishna will accept this bhoga? He will never accept bhoga. That means we are eating sin only. It is you, it is through you the offering is being made. It is through you this is manifesting. You are the go-to shelter. You are the source. Very important. Today, Sri Vaishnavism is still doing great means why? Because they're following their Acharya, Ramanujacharya. Very diligent. They do that. They do that. They worship him. That's why their movement is continuing. Likewise, we should come to this plan, come to this platform. Srila Prabhupada has given us everything actually. Our spiritual master, they are guiding us, they are helping us to come to that platform. Because it is only through that platform when we will understand what bhakti is. Bhakti means not learning some slokas, not playing some mridanga, or doing some activities. No. We should know why we are all doing the activity, the action and activities. We should know why we are doing that. And we should really do in that way. That is bhakti. Is this pleasing Srila Prabhupada? Is this pleasing Krishna? That is bhakti. And this we need to ask. There might be so many situations and circumstances which might happen in our life. No. Those situations will never keep us in perplexities. They will never help anything actually. But the thing is, one thing it will do, those difficult situations in this material world, it will pull us away from the Lord. If you are not deeply connected, it will pull us away. Please see, dear devotees, material nature is always there to pull us away. That's our duty. Mama Maya Durataya. Her only intention is that, nothing else. That is her service. That is the core service of her. Through that, she is doing devotion because she knows she is doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. Likewise, dear devotees, our service is what? To be free from that. And we will be only free from that when we really take this into some introspection. Check the heart. See what the heart is telling. You should see, where am I heading? Which direction I'm going? Am I pleasing them or am I displeasing them? Very, very important. Because bhakti is that. Bhakti is not to go to the spiritual world. Bhakti is not to get liberation. Bhakti is not doing that, doing this. No, no, no. Bhakti is to please that person. Am I pleasing the Lord? That means even here, when we try to please Him, we are here also, we are in the spiritual world. Now, pure devotees who are living in the material, they are not in the material, they are actually in the spiritual world. Because they are with that consciousness. Now, whatever consciousness we have, that is what we are. Actually, our thought process should be transformed in such a way that everything, Manasa Dehage Jo Kichumar, Arpilo Topade Nanda Kishora, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj is telling this mind, body, senses, intelligence, everything is a gift to you. It has to be submitted to you. It has to be submitted. And whenever that submission comes, that is when bhakti begins. For example, I'll tell some adjustment, mental adjustment, how it is. A lot of practitioners, they do not come to the surrender platform, but they give more focus to chanting. They don't want to come to surrender platform. They don't even discuss about that, but they want to come, but they focus on chanting. Now, why this is mental adjustment, I'll tell. Because just through this chanting, forgetting about consciousness for whom we are doing, just for this chanting, he will always sing, Antakale chamamaya swaran swaran mukta kara. Yam yam vapi smaran vavam tajantante kale. Oh, at the time of death, I should chant Hare Krishna. He'll make that adjustment in the heart. And then through that adjustment, he's striving doing it. And he's not following the instructions. On one side, he's chanting. On the other side, he's not following the instructions of the acharyas, of what Srila Prabhupada gave. But he's chanting. And really, Antakalicha came. You know what happens? Do you think he'll remember the Lord? Because he never tried to remember the Lord all through his life. He was just chanting, doing some mental adjustment. But at the time of the death, I'll remember the Lord. Because he heard now. So through that adjustment, he cannot remember the Lord. Because even if he remembers the Lord, with what attitude he'll go to the spiritual world? Now, who goes to the spiritual world? Only pure souls, right? Only a sadhaka who developed that pure consciousness, pure devotion, they will go to the spiritual world. Now, that person who just chanted for other motive, just to remember the Lord at the time of death, so that he'll go to the spiritual world. And all through his life, he's selfish. All doing selfish acts. never did a service for the pleasure of the Lord, where he will go, what fate he will get. Now, what kind of relationship is established through one's life? There's no relationship. There's no relationship with the Lord. There's no relationship with the acharyas. We never think about what troubles Srila Prabhupada has taken. These things were never been discussed or never been came into contemplations. Now, how is that the person will go to the spiritual world? They will get another chance. That is the reason why it is says Manishyanam Sahasreshu Kashya Jatara Siddhi. Etatam Abhisiddhanam Kashya Mamvedi Tattva. It's very rare. It's very rare going to the spiritual world. It's very rare. It's not that easy to hear about it. One should actually develop that relationship. And to develop that relationship, one should actually serve. For that, one should understand bhakti. What is the greatest of bhakti? It's not hodgepodge like there is nothing else, I'll do bhakti. No, 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 no. All these acharyas, they gave their life to practice bhakti. He is finance minister, chief minister, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. What are those persons? Ordinary people. Now, by the mercy of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada lost his business. And he accepted that. Then he took up. These are not ordinary people. They came from the spiritual world. They're showing us what devotion is. Now, keeping with all attachments and then practicing Hare Krishna, oh, that will not help. The quality should manifest, the desire should come. One should experience dear devotees. Devotion is experience. For example, if I give honey, if I speak about honey, so much honey, oh, honey is like this, honey is sweet, honey is nectar, honey is beautiful, honey is wonderful, or if I follow the instructions of the acharyas, it is great, great. Now the person has to experience it. If a person experiences it, then he also says, yes, honey is great. But without experience, he cannot express. He should feel that. And then through that experience only, one will develop that deeper relationship. Otherwise, if the experience is not coming, means the relationship will not expand. Yeah, tamam prapadyante. But to get that experience, we should put one step forward. We should make that effort to get up in the morning, to chant Hare Krishna, be in the playful mode, chant by depending. So through this action, what happens? Beautiful reciprocations will come. Because that experience is what is, because Arjuna got that experience. His hands were shaking, he was sweating, his bow, which he could carry very easily, now he's unable to carry. He's feeling the bow is very heavy, and then the heart is very heavy. And then he couldn't do anything. Couldn't. Then he turned towards the Lord. This is bhakti, turning towards the Lord. Now, when we turn towards the Lord, that is when our progress is. Parikshit Maharaj, when he came to know that he'll be leaving in 7 days, Srila Prabhupada explains this. When Parikshit Maharaj is about to leave, then he goes to the sadhus and then tell, no, this is what I am thinking, that I want to hear Bhagavatam. And then through this hearing, I want to leave the body. Is this good? Is this correct? He's inquiring with them. Consultation, he's taking consultation from them. And then Sukadeva Goswami comes and then he gives Bhagavatam. Just see, dear devotees, already is a Mahabhagavat. Already is on the pure platform. He ruled this world for 700 years. He stopped Kalipurusha entering this world. That person is taking permission. Wow, what is this quality, dear devotees? We see through the life of Srila Prabhupada also. When Srila Prabhupada was about to take sannyas, he did not take just like that. Even his spiritual master was calling him from his dreams. Oh, his spiritual master is continuously calling, take sannyas, take sannyas, take sannyas. Preach, 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 continuously. But he did not. He again went to one of his godbrother and then inquired from him, this is what I'm getting, this is what my heart is telling, this is what I wanted to do, is this correct? Keshav Maharaj, then he gives, yes, yes, Abhay Babu, you should take sannyas. From today, your name is Srila Prabhupada. That's all. Then, His Divine Grace, Yesu Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Just see their qualities. We should develop this, dear brothers. We should try to aspire for this association. We should take this kind of association. You see, the association should be how? For example, if a person who's speaking, oh great, big things, and then again after that he's doing sense gratification. For example, he spoke for a couple of hours, whoever he might be. And then after that he's doing sense gratification. Just only, I'll give an example on this. So one time a person was actually preaching, and then he's telling in the class that, no, you shouldn't eat onion garlic. Oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. His wife was also sitting there in that. And then after that, he came home. And then he started asking, can you make this pakoda for me? Onion pakoda or whatever it is. Can you make that? Then wife started telling, Harry, just now only you told that we shouldn't eat onion garlic. I threw everything out. No. That's for general public, not for us. That means the person really doesn't have a relationship. If a person really aspires and develops that relationship, he will never commit mistake. I'll write it down. He will never. Because he's always with them. Srila Prabhupada has been asked so many times, Swamiji, I know you tell a lot about your spiritual master in the classes, his glories. Do you ever feel separation? Do you ever miss him? But Srila Prabhupada immediately said, I'm always with my spiritual master. I'm never away from him. Dear devotees, this is devotion. He's always with the Lord. He's always with his spiritual master. He's always with Krishna. He's always with Gopavalas. That is his consciousness. He's always in Goloka. That is his state. Even now he's serving his spiritual master somewhere. That is the magnanimity of this personality. It's a great person. Now we are all so fortunate actually to get connected to this. But the fortune will become a fortune when we understand what bhakti is. Bhakti is details, dear devotees. Bhakti is not finishing something, not finishing our rounds. No, it's details. Yes, bhakti means details. Arey, I want to cook to Krishna to this. Oh, let me do this like this. My dear Lord, I've added rice, I've added dal, I've added these vegetables. My dear Lord, I've added this, so many other details. My dear Lord, please accept this. This is how I made today. Please accept this. Bhakti means details. We need to express the details. For example, if the child comes and then, his uncle came to the home and then child loves his mother so much. And then he will tell to his uncle will not ask, but the child will tell, oh, Amma made this, Amma made that, Amma gave me this, Amma gave me that. My mother gave me this, mother gave me that. Oh, he is continuously speaking about his mother. So that's all he knows. That's all he knows. Doesn't know anything. It's simple. Bhakti is this simplicity. Srila Prabhupada says so many times, this has been actually given to me by my spiritual master. I'm just repeating these words. Now, whatever little thing which I have is presenting this truth as is. That is Guru Parampara, presenting this truth as is. And then he says, I'm not this doesn't belong to me. This belongs to them. The glory is belong to them. One time Zolan Japataka Swami Maharaj when he saw Srila Prabhupada in Guru Puja. And then Japataka Maharaj says that, oh, I was seeing this Guru Puja, everybody was dancing very nicely, it's great. But I also see Srila Prabhupada, he is also chanting. He is also chanting. Vande Guru Sri Charanarayana, he is also chanting. Then I asked him later, Swamiji, everybody is chanting for you, and then you're also chanting. And then Prabhupada says, I am chanting for my spiritual master. Everybody is chanting for me. They are doing Guru Puja for me. I am doing for my spiritual master. Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Everybody is chanting. Prabhupada is also chanting. This is devotion, dear devotees. Bhakti is this. Please the other person. When we have this attitude, our chanting will improve, our hearing will improve, our reading will improve, our writing will improve. Our everything will improve. Our difficulties will no longer be difficulties. We get strength, we'll be free from insecurities. We'll be free from anarthas. Anarthas will no longer disturb, just like a serpent whose poison is taken away, even though it is hissing, there's no poison in it. So we'll become like that. The poison will be removed. Simply, what are we doing? We are doing Acharya Upasana, pleasing the Acharya. Srila Prabhupada will be very happy if we discuss every day. I know, my spiritual master will be very happy if we discuss here every day, read every day. Oh, they'll be so happy. Oh, joyful, please continue. They will say, please continue, please continue. Because they know the experience is received through that only. Dear devotees, if you have time, you should read every day and write down what you have read. Think about them. Think about them. These things will go away. They are not here to stay. The anarthas not here to stay. They will go. They are not meant to be stayed. They have no existence actually. Please understand. Krishna consciousness is consciousness. Consciously trying to please Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. We should strive. Krishna will be very pleased if we please Srila Prabhupada. Oh, immensely. Krishna will be very pleased if we please our spiritual master. Immensely. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasada. Yasya aprasadad nagati kotopi. Our business of coming here is to please them. It's no other business. Not for name, fame, profit, adoration, opposite sex. No, none of these things. This is the only thing for us. This is the medicine for us. Manasa deha viva jo kichu bhav. When we develop this, why surrender will not come? Krishna will give us that. It will come. And after that only bhakti begins. Up until that point of time, we cannot proclaim that we are devotees. And then if that is there, we will never proclaim we are devotees. Because we know it's been given to us. It's purely received as mercy. Krishna Kripa. Krishna Prema. Krishna Kripa means mercy of Krishna. Krishna Prema, love of Krishna. These are given to us. These are given to us. It's not like in this material world we can achieve something. No, 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 no. Devotion is the only thing which cannot be achieved. Has to be given. It has to be given. It has to be given. If we understand that, we will be humble, genuinely humble. If they say anything, we do it because we understand. For example, if you say that I got a realization, we need to think who gave that intelligence? Krishna. Now, who told us to think in that way? Spiritual master, acharyas. They told us to do Shravana. Now, through that process only, right, we are getting it. Obviously. Then how can I proclaim that I am getting this? This proclaiming propensity of I am getting this should be removed, curbed out actually from the heart. We don't get anything actually. Everything is given to us. The sadhaka should be 200% sure that everything is given to me. Nothing belongs to me. Everything is given to me only. And even the spiritual world, who created that? It's Krishna. Even this material world, who created this? Krishna. Even this body, who created this? Krishna. Even the soul who's sitting in the heart. No, Krishna gave us that. That's our identity. The soul, that is our identity. But who gave that identity? Krishna. We can be dormant for millions of lifetimes. When Mahavishnu sleeps, we can go dormant. All the souls will go dormant in Mahavishnu. They're not active. They're inactive. Again, after some time, they come out. Again, they manifest out. This is mercy. Everything is mercy. We're sitting here, it's mercy. We're discussing, is mercy. Now, when we see through these lines, don't we want to aspire to chant Hare Krishna more? Yes, it's mercy. Let me grab this mercy. Let me chant Hare Krishna. Then, through this consciousness, even when difficulties come, we embrace that. We catch hold of the lotus feet of the Lord. Krishna, I don't know where to go. I am just catching your lotus feet. Please help. Through that dependency, we chant more sensibly. Then we will come out of that. Then that becomes a realization. Because it will stay. It will stay forever. And then in the future, when difficulties comes, we know we'll remember the past difficulty. Oh, that is what I did. I should do the same thing now. Then the Rakshasiti iti Vishwase means Lord will protect me. That will manifest in the heart. More and more. And when Antakalicha Mameva comes, then that will be a natural thing. Devotion means natural. Devotee means natural devotee. He cannot be devotee one time. He cannot be like he's shouting at other time. That's not devotee. It's not devotee. Devotee means always devotee. Always in the natural state. Then through that natural consciousness, through the natural state, he'll take full shelter, because all these difficult situations is what? Is actually training him for that final journey of death. These are all difficult things, like losing the properties, family problems, health problems. These are all what? These are all difficulties. These are all the stepping stones for the death. Because through all these difficulties, what are we doing? We are taking more shelter. So obviously at the time of death, we will take more shelter. Through that way, Lord will give, because this is also mercy. Lord is giving us this mercy. Through that mercy, we will remember the Lord at the time of death and then come back to Him. That's how devotee's consciousness is elevated from Kanishta to Madhyama, and eventually to Uttama. That Uttama consciousness has to be developed. Currently, the Kanishta consciousness is not allowing us to chant with conviction. But we should try to carve out of it. So that's how slowly but eventually. But it's a process. If we do it from today, taking the deep dependency, taking complete shelter, and then aspiring for that consciousness of surrender, and following and fulfilling the words of Rakshashiti iti Vishwaso. Dear Lord, you will protect me. Just like Srila Prabhupada said, initially nobody was there, but I was patient. I was continuing the process which I received from my spiritual master. Later on, lot of devotees came. And then Srila Prabhupada is giving his own example, and then he's telling, you should also do this. Continue. But this continuation should be continuous. You cannot stop in between. It should be continuous. Hare Krishna. I'd like to stop here. Thank you very much. Is that okay, Amma Radha Mataji? Was that helpful?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very, very helpful, and so many examples, so many explanations. Really amazing, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else like to add anything? Like to share?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, as always, very encouraging speech you give every day, Prabhuji. And as you said, Prabhuji, to get the mercy of Acharyas, get the mercy of the spiritual master, get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It's very important in this path, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, I feel like I should also read more about Shravanam is very important. As you mentioned, Shravanam, reading the Prabhupada's book, Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita also is my very favorite scripture. And Prabhuji, also reading the Acharya's life, how they dealt the whole life with Krishna, with preaching Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, all the six Goswamis, all the Acharyas, Prabhuji. So reading their life also give us more inclination towards getting the awaken the love for Krishna, Prabhuji. Because without loving Krishna, if we do a service only, and it will not give us that intention, that intensity and purity to do it. So Prabhuji, it's very important, like to read their life, to know their life, how they did it. It's also very important, Prabhuji, to awaken love for Krishna, prem. Prabhuji, I just would like to add that.
Thank you. Tadara Charana Sane Bhakta Sanevas. Janama Janama Hoye Abhilash. Martanda Swaka says, Prabhupada actually writes in this purport. Tadara Charana Sane Bhakta Sanevas. A pure devotee is the only shelter for me. They are the life and soul. If I just serve them, if I worship them, if I adore them, then Krishna is immensely pleased. And then through that consciousness is telling that I want to come life after life and serve. Because he himself he has that consciousness. He's a manjari in the spiritual world. What does a manjari do? Serves another manjari. So what is their consciousness? Tadera charanasena bhattasana. But this thing comes after complete surrender. What you said is right. When we hear about the acharyas, when we learn their life, we should know what difficulties they've been through. Narottam Das Thakur, to meet his spiritual master was not even seeing him. He took so many difficulties to actually see him. But now we have everything. Now they come to us. They tell us, chant Hare Krishna, chant this, do that, surrender. But for him, it was not like that. He had to go beg him. He was telling, no, I cannot accept you because you're a rich person. After so many days, he cleaned up his bathroom for so many days. Lokanath Goswami Maharaj is a spiritual master. He removed. Once Lokanath Goswami completes his work, then Narottam Das Thakur used to come and then clean that. Then he was just wondering, what happened? Who cleaned up? Next day, every day it is clean. That place is perfect clean. Because the spiritual master will come there. Then he noticed one day. Then he catch hold of Narottam Das Thakur saying, what are you doing, my child? What are you doing? Then he says, dear spiritual master, I want your association. Because without your association, I'm nothing. I have no existence, no purpose for my life. There's no existence for me. Then he accepted him as his disciple. This is the mode we need to continue. Not that spiritual masters are running behind us. No, we should run behind them. We should run. That is our attitude. When we understand this, then we will get the meaning of this line. Tadera charanasena bhattasana. Then we will get a desire. Janama hoye vilash. That's a very deep subjects actually, all these. The acharyas, their life, just by thinking about them, we understand our devotion is very far. Very far. I cannot proclaim myself as a devotee. Then we'll get that realization that I'm not a devotee. That is a great realization actually. Understanding that I'm not a devotee is a great realization. Because when we understand that we will never judge anyone in this world, we'll never put others down, we'll never proclaim, or this is this, this is that. Simply accept it. Krishna, you gave me the situation to accept. Let me accept. I'll not complain. And move forward. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone else would like to add anything? Otherwise, end it here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhamma Pranam, goes to Shri Prabhupada. Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much, Prabhuji. A lot of points, as Radha Mataji was mentioning, a lot of points. But then the bottom line or the starting point and the ending point probably is to obey the orders of the instruction of the spiritual master. Because we or I, there is no I without the spiritual master and the spiritual master serving the spiritual master and so on like that through Krishna. So the pure devotee, is actually the instructions coming from the pure devotee is the message from Krishna. Or Krishna, we've been hearing or reading and many purports of Prabhupada always saying, even the messages that we get from the senior devotees, it clearly specifies chanting in the presence of a bona fide spiritual, in the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Clearly. Now that I realize, I just read the first part of the sentence like chanting, but take the second part of the sentence like under the guidance of a pure devotee or under the guidance of a spiritual master. I realize that I overlook the second part of the sentence, but it's actually the second part which makes the first part more realistic. Chanting will be happening only through the mercy of the pure devotee, spiritual master. Thank you so very much for emphasizing that again and again.
Actually, if one wants to practically realize that, chant Hare Krishna for a few years without any association, without hearing from spiritual master, without taking their guidance, without taking their their mercy. You try chanting for a few years. You see, you cannot chant Hare Krishna. The same chanting Hare Krishna only. What is the difference? The child doesn't have parents now. He's alone. The child can sustain for a few days. Prabhupada gives this example. This child is away from his mother. He wants to go away from his mother. Then what mother would do? She would go to every hotel and then she would give money. Wherever my son comes, you feed him. I will give you money. And the son would go to that particular hotel. And then he goes to various hotels and then he would understand. Oh, this is where. Oh, this is what. Oh, they're not asking me money. So that means everything is working out for me. But he doesn't realize that his mother is feeding him from the background. So our acharyas, they feed us from the background. We don't realize that actually. Whoever realizes that, his devotion will be continuous. Because he will do it for them. He has no other life. Simple thing. If you understand this, then you just do it. Then you get that realizations. Otherwise, see, if you are away from it, then we have no existence. Just like a fire spark, if it is away from the fire, it has no value. It will be dried off. The fire is gone because it is not away. It is not connected to the root. We should always connect to the root. We should never leave the association. When we do that, Bharat Maharaj couldn't. Bharat Maharaj, we had no association. He couldn't do that. What to speak of us? We is fully surrendered. We don't even know the spelling of surrender. At least myself, I'm not surrendered. So, Bharat Maharaj is fully surrendered. What to speak of us? Hare Krishna. Should be very, this is very important, the most important thing. That is the reason why acharyas are glorified early in the morning. First thing, after opening up the altar, they glorified samsara dwara. They are glorifying the spiritual master first thing. Hare Krishna. Even Srila Prabhupada's Guru Puja is done after opening of the altar. In front of the Lord. In front of the Lord they are doing Guru Puja. Hare Krishna. This is the magnanimity. This is the greatness Lord has given to his children. Acharyas were, they're all children of the Lord. They're all very intimately connected to them. Lord gave that position to them. That is his magnanimity. Because they are sold out souls. They have nothing. They have no business actually. There's no business in this world. This is their only business for them. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. That's why we should always aspire for that association. And whoever is giving that, we should never leave that. Let's take that. Because I always, because I'm so convinced with this, that whenever I'm in touch with the spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, my heart is happy. But when the touch is gone, then the disturbance will happen, will come immediately. Then again, when we get connected, again it is satisfied. Again, the heart is satisfied, because that is how the heart is satisfied. Because who is staying in their hearts? Krishna. Who is staying in the heart of Srila Prabhupada? Krishna. Hare Krishna. Who told us to chant Hare Krishna? It's all by their mercy. Please understand this more and more, dear devotees. If you understand this, the details, you will actually relish the details. For example, when you're cooking, you will have those details. Oh, this is how I'm doing. This is what I should do. You'll have those details. Life becomes blissful, joyful. Krishna consciousness is a joyful process. It is a joyful process. We should do it in relationship. We should always do it in relationship. Independent devotion is not devotion. Devotion through dependence is only devotion. Depending on the Lord, depending on the acharyas, that is the devotion. Independence. Actually, they say independence, but there is no independence here. We'll discuss that in some other class. That's a very good statement. Actually, they say there is independence here, but there is no independence. That will open up another realm of discussion. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavat Pranam. Thank you so very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right, we will stop here. If I caused any inconvenience through my words, please excuse me. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to us. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you,
Ayyo.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare